What's up, beer drinkers? How y'all doing this week? Oh, we got another great show for you again this week. Not only do we drink and review some delicious beers, but we also got a couple of great new beer news stories for you. Talking about cideries and how they're getting taxed up the wazoo in all contorted ways. And then, of course, my favorite segment of the show, the Cöld Brüe List. We list off the top 10 best cult movies of all time. Well, I don't know if they're the best, but according to our list that we found, they were the top 10. And, you know, it's up for debate. And then we talk a little bit about other movies that we like, other cult classics that we like after the list. And we throw a few more in there. I had a great time talking about it because I love talking about movies. Now, I knew all the movies that were on the list, but I had not seen every single one of them. And a couple of them I've only seen once or twice because they're not my thing. But that's why they're cult movies. They're not for everyone. They're for a certain sect of people. A cult, if you will. All right, let's see here. A couple of things I want to get off my chest. I got a new Tap That Takeover episode coming up soon with Adam Schmeichel from Fate Brewing. That should come out in a couple of days. I didn't want to release 2 podcasts on one day, so that'll come out this weekend. And I wanted to give another shout out to our boy Busta Spinna. I thought his Instagram handle was Radici. I guess it's pronounced Radici. That's what Rachel told me. Anyway, he and his buddy have their band Rustic Cream. They are still performing. They're still going strong. So go check them out on Instagram, Rustic Cream, and you could find out where they're performing in the Valley. And one last thing before we get to the show, please follow us on Untapped and Instagram. Search Cöld Brüe Podcast. All right, so without further ado, it's time for another Cöld Brüe. Coming at you pre-recorded from Cöld Brüe Studios. I am Greg. He is Sorcerer Chromatic, and we're here to talk about beer.
Yes, we are.
How you doing this week, man?
Doing good. Crazy weather this week up here where I am at.
Oh yeah,
it was rather chill. It rained. It rained last weekend. It was rather chill, and then all of a sudden it jumped like 20 degrees.
Yeah,
and it's scorching. Like seriously, I'm sitting underneath a fan next to my air conditioning right now.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I'll try not
that's
to keep...
yeah. That's the spoiledness of me too with temperature.
You are bougie like that these days. All right. Well, let's get to the beer. That way you can get back to your coolness. Maybe you can go take a cold shower or something.
My head.
Right. Exactly. Ice bucket challenge. All right.
There we go.
So today I have in front of me from our good friends, our new friends up at Mortalis Brewing Company in Avon, Barksdale, New York. Avon, New York. I have their Imperial Stout brewed.
Word out.
Yeah.
Get back up.
I have their Imperial Stout brewed with coffee and marshmallow called As Above, So Below. It is in a 16 fluid ounce can, coming in at 10% alcohol by volume. And it's got a Roman numeral, MMXVII. What's that? 2010, 15, 16, 17, right? I don't know if it was brewed then or if that's just their Livingston Company is their... that's when they were founded. Either way, it's a Imperial Stout with coffee and marshmallow. So without further ado, pop off. What do you got?
I have from 903 Brewers. Have you heard of them?
I have. Yes, I have. They're out of Texas, right?
Do we have this one? Barley King?
No, we haven't. They distro out here, so I've had them before, but we haven't had it on the show at all.
Okay. It looks familiar. It looks familiar because the font and the logo are a parody. Not the logo, but the can art is a parody of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Ooh, okay.
So like what was Jack Skellington? The Halloween King?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So same font. It says Barley King. And this is a strong ale aged on black rum soaked coffee beans with vanilla and sugar.
Holy fucking shit, that sounds delicious.
Yeah. So Barley King. What is wait, what's this? What's this? It's an exhilarating, strong ale loaded with secret doors to new worlds of exciting flavors. Aged on rum-soaked coffee beans and vanilla sugar, this velvety ale boasts complex flavors of spiced rum, roasted toffee. I'm sorry, roasted coffee beans. The font's small. Okay, I'm having trouble here. I'm struggling.
That's like your your latest gimmick.
Yeah, I know. Um, gimmick, haha. And sweet vanilla. The base malts lend a profile of caramel toffee, biscuit, and dried fruits for a harmonious melody of flavors that courses throughout this richly bodied ale. The Barley King is spooky good, a triumphant and heartwarming tale showcasing the timeless deliciousness of strong ale. So it's 12.9% ABV. I have a 16-ounce can, and it pairs with Jack and Sally, pumpkin pie, extra whipped cream, and cult classics.
Very nice.
All right. Well, without any further ado, Papa.
All right, and I have this. So as above, so below. This is fucking fantastic. It is. It's Imperial Stout. You know I love Imperial Stouts, and I like the sweetness of this one. This one is a sweet one. This one is definitely a dessert stout, and not a pastry stout, but definitely a dessert stout. Not much of the coffee shining through. It's a lot of the marshmallow in the aftertaste. Anyway, the lingering taste on your tongue and your lips and your teeth and everything. It's definitely sweet. It's on the sweeter style. I might want to wait until later on when it opens up. Maybe the coffee will shine through, but I don't know. I think at this point, all the it's just the marshmallow. I think it's a little bit overpowering. To be honest, in my taste, it's a little bit overpowering, but it's still fucking delicious. If you like a sweet dessert stout, this As Above, So Below is phenomenal. So yeah, how's your what's it, strong ale? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's a strong ale. So it's geez. It doesn't say, pardon me. It doesn't say barrel aged on it. However, it's got that barrel aged effect because of this. A lot of strong, rich flavors here. You're getting that vanilla sweetness along with the sugar. Not much coffee present yet. It's cold, but not that cold. But I'm sure it's going to open up some more. However, I am digging it just because this is my alley. You know, I like the what I want to say, the beers that are treated with rum and other alcohols and of course, adding vanilla sugar into anything most of the time is a good idea. So here we are.
vanilla in anything. Count me in.
That too, and although the taste is rich in flavor, it is a strong ale, not a stout. So it is a little bit almost like a medium mouthfeel too. Really, really light on the palate.
Gotcha. Yeah. Opposite of what I'm having right now. So I totally get that. So we will rate our beers later on during our Untapped segment of the show. Don't forget to follow us on Untapped. Search Cöld Brüe Podcast and friend us, and we'll friend you back. But right now, it's time for some beer news. All right, this story comes to us from Reason. That's the name of the app or the name of the news source. And it's funny because they have they actually have a timestamp on the latest update of the article, which I think is funny because I had never seen it. So C. Jarrett Dieterle wrote this on May 11th at 3 a.m. or at least updated it at 3 a.m. And the headline is, "The federal government is literally taxing air." America's tax
That's a
code.
good idea.
What was that?
Good idea.
Was that tax air?
Yeah.
Well, it depends. If you're the government, yes. If you're a consumer, no. America's tax code is notoriously, you know, real quick before we get into this story. Now that reminds me of that Spaceballs scene with the.
I was saying, yeah. Is this how Spaceballs started?
with it really is. They stole air from another planet. Let's see here. America's tax code is notoriously convoluted, but the complexity really sparkles when it comes to the federal government's approach to alcohol taxation. Wine, beer, and liquor are all subject to varying tax rates based on intricate calculations, but the so-called bubble tax for hard cider is the star of this regulatory circus. Unbeknownst to most Americans, the tax rate for alcoholic cider is based on, among other things, the amount of carbonation the drink contains. Yes, America technically already has a carbon tax, and the feds have literally found a way to tax air. Craft cider makers are being flattened by an arbitrary system that is strangling the industry's long-term potential. Under the federal code, alcoholic cider is taxed as either hard cider, still wine, or sparkling wine, and the implications of which category applies are not insignificant. Hard cider is taxed at a modest $0.226 per gallon, which is 22.6 cents per gallon, while sparkling wine is taxed at a whopping $3.40 per gallon, a staggering 1,400% increase. So for every 100 gallons of cider produced, Uncle Sam either takes in $22 in taxes or $340 in taxes. What determines how a cider is categorized and taxed? A ridiculous 3-part formula based on A, what type of fruit is used to make the cider, B, the alcohol content of the cider, and C, what carbonation level the cider contains. Imagine if you're a cider maker aiming for the lower tax rate to apply to your product. You produce a cider that is made from apples or pears with no other fruits added, and it's less than 8.5% alcohol by volume and has less than or equal to 0.64 grams of carbon dioxide per 100 milliliters. However, if you decide to add some blackberries or grapes, it's considered a still wine and taxed at $1.07 per gallon, but only if it has less than 0.392 grams of CO2 per 100 milliliters. If you go over that carbonation threshold, you've unlocked sparkling wine status, and with that, the $3.40 per gallon tax rate applies. Confused? It gets worse. If your pear or apple cider is over 6.64 grams of CO2, it gets sparkling wine rate. But it's knocked down to the still wine rate if it's less than 0.392 grams of CO2 and the ABV level is 8.5% or higher. Dude, I read this. Like, this is the third time I've read this, and I'm still fucking confused.
Does it kind of deter you from going into business?
The cider business, yes. I don't know how these cideries fucking do it, man. I guess that's why some ciders are more expensive than others.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, and you know, they say that of course they tax the cideries for whatever their convoluted tax rate is, but it gets passed on to the consumer. So this is fucking bullshit. I hate this. I hate this already. Anyway, so I had no idea.
Taxation without representation.
Yeah, this story goes on and on. I'll read the last couple of paragraphs because it goes in and it gets way more complex. And I'm not about complex right now. I want to simplify. The bubble tax is now getting more attention due to a recent bipartisan bill introduced in Congress, which aims to level the playing field between apple and pear ciders and those made with other fruits. While promising, the best reform would be to convert the entire system of alcohol taxation to one based simply on a drink's ABV level, rather than an arbitrary classification system. Craft cider, a beverage steeped in American history, deserves better. Another Michigan cider maker made it even simpler. Quote, "It's not expressing the free market. The government needs to get the fuck out of the way." All right, I added the swear in there a bit. I totally agree. Just make it simple. Make it simple, please. All right. That's
The
all.
whole
Yeah.
the whole taxing of the industry seems like low hanging fruit. Yes, it is a luxury. I could see adding some taxing to it. However, it's I think it's got to be more standardized for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yep. I get the whole like taxing of the ABV and everything. And that's right. Like if it gets higher ABV, sure. Maybe, come up with a tier system. That way it's not like a graduated system because that's just hey, you brew something it's a little bit higher the next month, you're like, fuck. Now you gotta pay more taxes. But yeah, this whole like with the if it's a certain ABV and a certain carbonation level and all that, it's too difficult. Make it simple. Make us understand it better.
Mhm.
All right, that's all I have this week. I'm off my cider, my apple box right now. So that's all for the beer news. You know what that means?
Good idea.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment on Cold Brew because it's my favorite segment. It's time for the Cöld Brüe List.
So let me ask you this: what do you think the biggest cult classic is of all time?
Ooh, I don't know. I guess depends on what cult you're in. I'm gonna say it's gonna be probably one of those old school Hollywood scary movies like Frankenstein or Dracula or something.
Find out because I have a list of the top. Well, actually, I have the top 100 cult classics, but that's too long.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll just do 10 because I'm
But
sure we could.
I was gonna suggest the top 99.
Okay, because I'm sure we could riff and comment enough on 10
Okay, yeah.
before people stop listening. Um, so number 10,
Yeah.
this one kind of surprised me a little bit. Not that it's not a good movie, I don't like it. The Blues Brothers.
Oh, really? Cult? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Um, Fun fact: Blues Brothers was the first SNL movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi take their roles as Jake and Elwood Blues.
Mm-hmm.
They get the band back together for God. And
We're on a mission from God.
exactly. I know a lot of what do I want to say? A lot of cameos, right? Or a lot of I want to say like Oscar winners or anything like that, but a lot of good actors. Like Red Charles had a little bit of it. John Lee Hooker, John Candy,
Aretha.
yeah, Aretha, the good old boys. Everyone.
Yeah, I think, to your point, I mean, it featured a lot of soul performers, music performers.
You go.
So that's great.
So that yeah, little antics and stuff, and then I remember seeing a going downtown. I guess that makes sense. They had cinemas downtown one time, and I went to go see it because of Blue Brothers and I liked it.
Yeah.
And yeah, they played like a DVD with an extended cut, and I saw some scenes I never saw before. I'm like, wait a minute, that was new. That was new. That was new. And then yeah, I later learned that yeah, there was some additional scenes added to the movie.
Yeah,
in the Blu-ray release.
And I've also heard there was a Coke budget for that fucking movie.
Oh, I bet there was.
And you know what? Carrie Fisher was in it. She was fucking awesome in
Well, there
it.
you go. Yeah.
And that whole side thing with the Nazis and that police car pileup, that must have cost a fortune. That was fucking amazing too.
Yeah, the good chase scenes. Good chase
Yep.
scenes in that movie.
Oh yeah, great movie. Great movie. All right, what's next?
Number 9 is Airplane.
Oh wow, really? It called. I mean, well, it started the whole parody genre, right? If, as far as I know.
Right. I saw this one of those YouTube videos that like 10 things you didn't know about Airplane.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of them was a parody spoof on a movie, so much so that they actually bought the rights to the movie so they wouldn't get sold for making Airplane.
Was
I
it
thought that was cool.
Airport 75 or something like that?
No, no, no. Although yes, it was also kind of based off that. It was another movie. I forgot the name.
Oh,
Gosh,
okay.
it's gonna bug me now. I'm
Oh,
stupid for bringing it up.
no. You're
However,
fine. I'll look it up while you're talking about it.
yeah. However, what do I want to say? Just I the weirdest thing I got from that video though is in Australia, airplanes is actually called flying high.
Really?
So it's got a different name. Yeah. So this guy who like reviews movies, like he'll bring up flying high, and a lot of people will be like, "What are you talking about?"
That's hilarious. And I mean, you talk about cult classic, but also like famous lines, like the whole surely you must be
Surely
kidding.
right.
What? Say it again.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, and don't call me.
I'm not kidding. Yeah, I'm not joking. Yeah, don't call me Shirley. Yeah, well, like, um, and that was, oh shoot, and that was the movie too. The whole, the whole people who ate fish got sick on a flight. So I mean, it was really based off this movie. Um, but yeah, it started the what is it?
Oh,
Abrams Zucker production team. That was like one of their first. Well, it was their first movie together. Although they did they what they call it, Kentucky Fried Comedy or something like that.
yeah, yep. That was a sketch movie. That wasn't like a full-fledged movie though.
No, well, that was called Kentucky Fried Movie. No, but they were known for doing shows. I don't know if it was Gaxis or whatever, but it was Kentucky Fried Comedy. If they were
Oh,
like, or
okay.
even like if they were even like an improv group. Anyway, I'm getting off the rails here. I mean, it was a funny. I mean, Robert Stack was funny.
Yep.
What you called? I forgot Ted Stryker, actor's name, but what Lloyd Bridges was in it too.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, then
Julie
of course
Haggerty.
Leslie Nielsen. Yeah,
Oh,
wait, is that the Bee's mom?
yep. No. The Bees Bomb. That was shoot. I can't think of her name right now. Yeah, from
Barbara
Leave It to
Billingsley.
Beaver. Yeah, there you go, Barbara Billingsley. The movie you're thinking of that it was based off of was 1957 Paramount film called 0 Hour.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah, finally found it. All right, let's move along.
Give me some slack, Jack.
She would hit me the rebound with the medicine.
English blood.
What it did, Big Mama?
Oh.
My mama didn't raise no dummy. I dug her rap.
Hey. Number 8. I like this movie. Dazed and Confused.
Oh, for so long it's not true. Yeah, that was a good one, man. With Affleck and McConaughey and what's his name? London.
I forgot. I know Affleck and McConaughey. Yeah, some of those other guys, and a lot of those other guys never really did much afterwards, as far as like became like leading men or anything like that.
Yeah.
However, collectively, I would call it an ensemble cast now.
Yes.
You know, because relatively a lot of people were. Not to get on a tangent here, but American Pie was like that too. I mean, they had a lot of young, good actors on there, but not a lot of them really took off.
Yeah, I think if from American Pie, you would maybe Allison Hannigan would be the only one that really took off.
Yeah, well, and Stifler, but he's kind of typecasted.
Yeah, and then and he fucking fell off the. And speaking of going back to Dazed and Confused, Jeremy London, he kind of fucking he had that one. He had Mallrats, and then all of a sudden he got kidnapped by 3 black men and was forced to do crack or whatever the fucking story he came up with. That was weird. But McConaughey is fucking. He's a A-list fucking actor, man. He can do whatever he wants. And I listened to the audiobook of his biography, Green Lights, and he talked about it, man. That was his first like breakout role, and he got paid like nothing on that one. And but he was happy to do it. And he loved his experience, and it helped him later on in life. So, definitely the right move, even though he's a creepy. He played a creepazoid in that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. His role wasn't the most flattering character arc.
No, yeah, definitely a predator. All right, keep going.
Number 7, the original 1979 Mad Max.
Oh yeah, I've seen that once. That whole Mad Max trope with the dystopian wasteland type movies. Not really my thing, but I understand why people might like them.
Yeah, yeah. I think of like Mad Max. I also think of like what's the other one? Like Waterworld.
Yeah, that's
Was that one that was
dystopian future. I mean, Mad Max had no water, and Waterworld had too much water.
there you go.
But yeah, that was
6.
Wait, real quick. Wasn't that? I think that was. I can't think of his name now. Mel Gibson's like breakout movie, right?
I mean, I think so. They definitely introduced him to
Yeah, there you
America.
go. Yeah.
I don't know if he was doing Australian stuff. However, yeah, I mean, Mel Gibson, gosh, I guess I could say like in my eyes, he's been like writing his ticket ever since I was acknowledging movies,
Yeah, I mean,
like old enough to realize what movies were, because like I remember the Beyond, part 2 Beyond Thunderdome was really big with Tina Turner. I remember watching commercials, like seeing commercials like every day after school, that one.
Yeah, with the soundtrack and everything, that was huge. And then when he did Lethal Weapon, that was it. After that, he was right on his own ticket.
Yep, he was Hollywood royalty.
Correct.
Without having an award at the time. I don't know. Did he get an award for Apocalypto or something like that?
Yeah, I think he got nominated a few times. I don't know if he won any awards, but let's move on because he's a controversial subject.
Very much so. Number 6, Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock, 1960 classic.
Very good movie, man. Have you seen the original?
I've seen pretty much all of it, but I haven't sat down and watched it together. I've seen like bits and pieces.
Yeah, I mean that iconic scene, the bathroom scene. Everyone knows that.
For me, I guess what kind of makes this, and there is like, up. I mean, I don't know how until recent, but like at Universal Studios. I mean, the Psycho House was on the tour.
Oh yeah,
and they even had a Norman Bates running after the train for a while, or the tram for a while.
Yeah, I remember that. I read an article recently about it was a woke article because they were complaining about the transgender identity of the whole, or not transvestite identity, the whole thing. I'm like, dude, it's a movie. Like, calm down, calm the fuck down.
Even the can already. They're not gonna go reshoot the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I read the article because it was part of a larger context of old horror movies and being cringeworthy. And when I read that part of the article, I'm like, really? You're gonna complain about fucking that? This is like a masterpiece of cinema history. But whatever, man. I mean, to each their own, I guess. All right, let's move on.
Moving on. Number 5, Ridley Scott's 1982 classic, Blade Runner.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Have you seen Blade Runner? I watched it recently, all the way through recently for the, I wouldn't say the first time, but yeah, I guess all the way through for the first time because I've just seen bits and pieces until like a few months ago.
Okay, no, I have not seen Blade Runner nor the. I don't know if it's a remake or uh, a long overdue sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so
It, yeah.
I know it's referenced a lot. However, I'm just not familiar with it.
I know. So Harrison Ford's in it, but I think my favorite performance. I'm looking it up
Your
right
Howard.
now. Rutger Hauer. He's fucking that final scene is really good. Um, yeah, the whole 19. Yeah. I thought Harrison Ford was good, not great. Sean Young was really good too. Almost is in it, and it's good. It's kind of a like a sci-fi noir sci-fi feel to it, sci-fi feel to it. So, if it's your thing, it's your thing. I get why it's cult because it's not a mainstream pleaser.
Or I think it's Fallout 4 where there's a scene with that's supposed to be a tribute to Blade Runner. There's like a building, and on top there's like two mannequins in chairs sitting down, and they're dressed like the main people from Blade Runner.
Oh, really? I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I'll I'll look it up. I'll send it to you.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
moving on. Number 4. Now here we go. I could totally see this being up there in the discussion. At number 4, the 1998 classic, The Big Lebowski.
Ah, I fucking love that movie, man.
It's a great movie. It's really just a segment of these weirdos' lives, and he has some strange happenings with the Big Lebowski, but the
Yeah.
dude, his bowling team,
Hmm.
and the people at the bowling alley in general.
Oh yeah, Jesus and what's the name? Donnie and I think yeah, what Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, Philip Seymour Hoffman has a small role in it, but still great. Tara Reid, probably her best role she ever played. And I just yeah, I fucking love that movie, man. Up and down, left and right. Um, the the scene with the cab driver kicked out Jeff Bridges because he doesn't like the fucking Eagles. Love that. The whole iron lung scene with the you see what happens, Larry? And do you see what happens? Oh, it's fucking so great. Or when the dude gets his car back and he has to cop, do you have any leads? And he fucking laughs his ass off right in his face. Oh, I can't. I can't with that movie, man. I can go on forever.
The spreading of the ashes.
The toe, the fucking when we get introduced to Mod, that whole scene, it really tied the room together. The rug.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it's so complex and yet so easy to it's easy to understand, comprehend everything. All right, let's keep going.
Number 3, 1999 Fight Club.
Oh, such a great movie, man. You know, I can't wait for my daughter to get old enough. I really want to show her that movie. She's not ready yet, though.
Or
What's your? Did you see that movie in the theater? Because I don't think I did. I think I waited. I think I saw it like when it was on video or DVD or on HBO or something. Did you watch it in the theater?
no, I saw it on DVD. In fact,
Okay.
I only watched it because you told me to watch it. Like I get, Brad Pitt was a big star.
Yeah.
I was familiar with Ed Norton. However, I'm like, what's like the it was one of those where the previews really couldn't tell you what it's about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I liked it. I laughed. I thought, I saw the cleverness to it. But just the story when when Fight Club became Project Mayhem and stuff like that, I'm like,
Yeah.
as weird as this movie is, this is getting really weird,
But the whole the twist so far on all the movies you talked about, it had that twist at the end. You're like, whoa, what the fuck? And then when you watch it a second time, it's definitely worth a second watch just so you could see all the clues and the hints and the 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 breadcrumbs that they lead that they give you to the twist at the end.
Right.
So that's what, for me, that's what made it a great movie. This was a fun movie to watch, but when it hits that twist, you're like, oh fucking A, holy shit. Like it just makes it stands it on its head, and then you want to watch it again. So great movie. I totally agree.
All right, moving on. Number 2,
Mm-hmm.
the 1975 Jim Sharman classic, The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
You know, I've never seen this movie at all,
Neither have I.
but
You know, and
yeah.
I heard about it, how like people go like to go see it in a theater on a replay, and they dress up, and it's like an outing for them.
Yeah, and I was gonna bring it up
Wait to
because
happen. Oh,
because when you went to go see The Room, you said it was kind of like a happening too. People like bringing spoons and picture frames, right?
yeah, and throwing footballs. Yeah,
And so it's kind of like that. And I remember when I used to work at the off ramp, you were there. You were there too. I don't know if you were there when I brought it up, but I was like, like I want to watch the film because they were talking about it. And like, oh no, you can't see it. You have to go see it like in the theater with other people. That it make it more special. I'm like, really? I thought that was kind of weird. So even up to this day, I haven't seen it yet. Not because I'm waiting to see it in a theater, but at this point, it's like, like I don't care. I've heard so much about this movie. I feel like I know it already. Have you seen it?
no, I haven't.
Yeah. Do you want to see it or nah?
I don't know. For the spare time I have for movies right now, I'd rather do something else.
That's a good point. If someone invites me, I'll go, but I'm not going to go on by myself. All right, let's move on.
The thing is too is like if I see it and I see some stuff that like influences pop culture or see pop culture call back to it, I think I'd appreciate it more. If it just kind of, oh, okay, I get it. I mean, then I don't think I'd appreciate it as much.
No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like it's hard to knock a movie you haven't seen and a movie that did develop a cult following without any real, I guess I'm assuming there's no Academy Awards tied to this one.
Okay, you're probably right. I'm not gonna look it up right now, but go ahead.
And number 1, another 1975. What is about 1975?
That's the classics, man.
The Gold Classic,
Yeah.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Ah, that's a great movie, man. That is a fucking funny ass movie too.
It is. I know a lot of people that don't like English comedy in general.
Yeah.
However, their style, it's funny if you get it, if you appreciate the whole change of pace with humor and a lot of this one has a little, I don't want to say slapstick, but it's got a little like just charm with it.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, a lot of charm.
I've heard like from the Monty Python fan base, like The Life of Brian is probably their best movie, and I tried watching it and I didn't really care for it. The Holy Grail though, I could watch it over and over again. For some reason, that movie speaks to me more than any of the other Monty Python movies.
I get it too, because the Life of Brian, I did try to see it, and it was like, meh. I didn't know, where like the Holy Grail was a spoof on the whole King Arthur Camelot thing.
Yeah.
So you kind of half-heartedly understood the characters and the time they were in. And to call it a period piece isn't really correct at the same time. It was just kind of like
Right.
the silliness they had with it. It was just, it's cool. It's a really cool comedy.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I agree that one it should be up there in the top like 4 or 5. So good list, very good list. Any of them that weren't on there that you felt like should be on there?
Well, then we're gonna start getting into my favorite if we start doing that.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it. I'll give you a couple of mine.
Okay, I like The Room,
Yeah,
and again, I
right.
think having that experience of seeing it in the theater. I mean, because when we first saw it, we have a few people over and just kind of like laughed during it. Or am I thinking of a different movie?
It might be a different movie because I saw The Room and I told you and LT to watch it because we went to a 49er game and I was telling you about it in the truck.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't know when you first saw it, but I saw it and I'm like, you got to watch this movie. It's fucking out there.
And then actually, I met Tommy Wiseau and shook his hand,
I
so
know, right?
that meant a lot.
And Greg Sesteros,
Yes.
it's fucking awesome, man. I'm totally jealous of that. All
And
right, yeah,
you were only like shoot
couple
10 minutes
hours.
away.
I was
No,
like a couple hour flight time behind you, right?
no, but I'm saying like we're at the airport and you left for your flight,
Yeah.
said bye, and then yeah, I walked over by the gift shop and all of a sudden they were there. It's like, oh shit.
um, I'll go next for one of my cult movie favorites, Young Frankenstein. Fucking love that movie.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Mel Brooks.
Yeah, Mel Brooks, Gene Wilder. If you watch any of the old Frankenstein, Universal Studios Frankenstein movies, they draw more from like the Bride of Frankenstein and the Son of Frankenstein than the original Frankenstein movie. But with Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks, winning comedy, Cloris Leachman, Terry Garr. Oh man, it's fucking phenomenal. Great movie. Marty Feldman with his eyes.
Damn your eyes.
Too late. Any other cult movie classics you'd like to throw in there?
Well, dude, I mean, to piggyback on that, you could argue Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah, and it was on Netflix for a while. Man, such a great movie. I really want to introduce my daughter to a lot of these, but it's a little bit too old for her right now. She's only 12. Maybe in a couple years. I really think she would dig the you talk about Blazing Saddles, the fart scene. I think she would fucking love that. She would laugh her ass off.
Very controversial fight scene, yes.
I know, right? Because they bleep it or they omit it from broadcast airings.
Yeah, then like the whole thing, the studio didn't want it and all that stuff.
But it so works, man. It works. Mel Brooks knows comedy. I don't know about these days, but back in the day, he was king. He was the king of comedy. Jeez.
It's hard to, for me too. When I think a cult classic, it's kind of a movie that isn't mainstream
Yeah.
or that isn't mainstream or receive like any type of award
Acclaim, yeah.
acclaim. However, this one didn't win any Oscars, but it was in the conversation at the time. Was Pulp Fiction. I mean, that's one of my
Oh,
favorites.
yeah. That's a good one. It was so like ahead of its time, but at the same time, like of its time. Because it was so pop culture-ish. At the same time, the whole storytelling was years advanced from when it came out.
Hard.
Oh, another cult classic that I love is Big Trouble in Little China.
Hard.
Oh my god, dude. That fucking movie is so fucking great. For those of you out there who haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Go check out Big Trouble in Little China. Ah, so fucking good. You got any more?
Am I supposed
Any
to go?
others?
Am I supposed to? Shoot, I'm trying to think of like which old DVDs I used to watch all the time, or even VHS.
Let's
I mean,
look
because
up.
like you
Yeah.
and I were big Star Wars fans. I mean, I don't consider it cult because it's too big.
Yeah. Too big, yeah.
Yeah, I mean nothing else. I mean, I remember just after school watching Star Wars or Cheech and Chong movies. I mean,
Oh, Cheech and Chong, there you go, dude. That's perfect. All those are cult movies, man.
Think all of them?
Yes, all
At
of
least
them.
the big three. The big three, right?
Up in Smoke, next movie, and what's the third one?
Up all over.
Oh, Things Are Tough All Over. Even Nice Dreams is kind of good. So the four major ones. So good. Yeah, I think they all lump them all in because those are all like for the stoner cult out there. But you know what though, I did teach my daughter that I showed her that scene when Cheech and Chong are siphoning gas from the one truck so they could put it in their car or their neighbor's car anyway, and they're walking down with a 33-gallon trash can, a steel trash can full of gasoline, and they're holding it and they're like, it's killing my hand. And then people walk by and they're like, hey, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool. I showed her that scene because I have to tell her to be cool a lot because she gets a little animated, and then I started telling her, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool. And so I had to show her that.
Did you hear someone ripped off the thing I ripped off?
I can't wait till she's old enough so I can show her some stoner comedy. Not that I want her to ever smoke weed. You know, if you're listening right now, don't smoke weed, even though I have. Thank you.
Oh, jeez. Stay in school, kids.
All right, man. Any other cult classics you'd like to bring up before we move along?
No, I'm good.
All right. How's your beer treating you?
Good. I'm still sipping on it, savoring it. Still dominantly sweet. Not enough coffee roastiness. However, it doesn't make it a bad beer. It's sweeter than I thought it was going to be.
All right.
It's also that rum too. Some of that rum taste is coming through.
Is it like a sweet rum or a spice rum?
Well, sweet rum. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna rate our beers right now on Untapped. What was your called again? I forgot the name of the beer.
Barley King from 903 Brewers.
Oh, okay. I remember it was oh, there it is. Barley King. Oh yeah, I see the can art with the standing on top of that curly little outcropping of rock or something, right?
Cliffside.
Yes. All right. What would you like to rate this beer at?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Okay. And what are your notes on it?
I would go sweet, strong, as in like the it's a strong ale, but it does you do taste that it's a high ABV beer.
Yeah.
And then fruity.
Okay.
Like going back to the description, it does have some of that dry fruit sweetness to it as well.
Right.
Found it interesting. I'm not saying that the coffee was a miss because again, it's what is it? Black rum soaked coffee beans. So the black rum is definitely there and soaked out of the beans back in the beer.
Very nice. All right. So the overall rating right now is 4.01. None of our friends have rated it, so we have a little cold brew correction. I have by Avon. No, they're from Avon, New York. I have by Mortalis. They're as above, so below. And pull back the curtain a little bit. I've been drinking a little bit today, and I'm kind of a little tipsy right now. But I'm at home right now. I'm not going anywhere, so it's all good. As above, so below. There it is. Right now is the overall rating of 4.39. That's I was gonna give it a 4.5, so it's right there. Overall, three of our friends have rated it at an average of 4.67. Jace gave it just a check-in. Jason M gave it a 4.5. Oh, Eric Stump, he gave it a 4.5. That was back in 2021 though. And Jace checked in, and Kat V gave it a 5.0. She loved this beer. That was back in 2020. I haven't heard from Cat V in a while. The last time I heard from her and her, I don't know if it's her husband or her boyfriend, but they're about to have a kid. So maybe that's taking up more of her time. So good for her. I wish her well. Let me see here. Check in 4.5, and it is sweet and roasty. Like during the not toasty, roasty. During the show when I was sipping on it, I started noticing a lot more of the coffee roastiness in it because I was trying to pay attention to that. So that's why I say sweet and roasty. And the sweet is definitely from the vanilla, the roasty, not just from the coffee, but also the malt, the roasted malt that they put in it. So anyway. You been watching any of the playoffs, the NBA playoffs, or the NHL playoffs, or any of the playoffs? Playoffs.
Unfortunately, no. I just kind of watched the Nuggets Lakers series in round one.
Yeah.
After the Nuggets won, I thought it was going to be a given that they were going to come out of the West. So I was just going to wait for the finals.
You know what? And it did seem like that, but then it's weird, especially you mentioned the Nuggets and they're playing the Wolves right now. So the Wolves took 2 games in Denver, and now Denver took 2 games in Minnesota. So it's all tied up at 2-2 right now. I'm like,
okay.
What the fuck? What the fuck's going on? Fucking crazy ass shit in the NBA. A lot of blowouts in round 2. As far as the
that's
games.
what I hear on Sports Talk. It's like it's either a close game or a 20-point game.
Yeah.
And the 20-point games, you're not finishing the game, because it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah. And I was just about to mention that, and that's bad for TV as far as like people watching it, because like people like me, and especially when I bet on the game, and I'm watching because it's not even my team, and I have money on the game, and it's a blowout. Either way, whether I'm gonna win or lose, like I don't want to watch anymore. I'm gonna start playing video games now.
Hard.
But anyway, they had the lottery, right? Or the lottery for the NBA first round, and the Warriors got the 14th overall pick, but they have the somebody else, right? Gets it, like Portland or not Portland. Somebody else already has their pick, like Minnesota or something like that, because they already traded away their pick. Fucking, it's sad. It's sad they did that because it just hurts them now for next year. Anyway, yeah.
The Sharks got the number 1 pick.
Oh yeah, they did, huh? They better not blow it. When was the last time you went to a Sharks game?
Jeez. Shoot, before my oldest daughter was born.
I was about to say when they were in the playoffs, when Fire Shot went down there, or Hot Shot went down there.
No, I've been to a game since then.
Oh, okay.
But what did I want to say? I remember I wanted to take her to one when she was a baby. I wanted to expose her to sporting events when she was young, so we could take her to games and she'd be used to the environment.
Yeah.
But COVID ruined all that. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, but you took your daughters to a preseason Niner game last year, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna do it again this year?
Well, I would say yeah. Just depending on when the game is, because I do believe we only have one preseason home game this year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Because it flips back and forth.
Oh yeah, because there's only 3 this in the preseason now.
Right. So yeah. So if you get more home games, then you get less preseason games. So last year
they had 2.
Last year we got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this year we should only get 1, and then it's kind of like, well, if it's 1 and it's on a Thursday, that doesn't work for me,
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Yeah, it doesn't work for me either. Hopefully, the schedules drop next week, right on the 15th.
That's the rumor, yeah, the 15th, if not sooner.
All right, so yeah, I'll make my decision on what game I'm coming to next year, the regular season game, and then hopefully I can bring my daughter if it lines up with my schedule.
Word.
Anyway, all right, yeah, we're almost done here. Anything else you'd like to bring up before we sign off?
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Sorry. I know it's going to come out late, but happy Mother's Day to all the moms up there. Hope they had a nice family day.
Oh yeah. Do you see my post? I thought that was funny. The your mom's an IPA.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. I know it's a week later than you are than the actual day of the observance, but yeah, happy Mother's Day to all y'all. Thank you for downloading yet again another Cöld Brüe podcast. I am Greg. He is Sorcerer Chromatic, and we'd like to wish you cheers.
Until next time.